Fortnite dropped the South Park update yesterday, and there were a lot of big changes. And most of them are really bad. So, in South Park's update yesterday, we got the Shockwave grenades and the Forsaken Valblade were both vaulted, which were the two main fighting mobility items in this season. We still do have the wingsuit. But now, we did get crash pads as like the substitute for shockwaves, but crash pads are a lot worse than shockwaves in pretty much every regard. We also got a new SMG called the Flex SMG, which has a slower fire rate when aimed down sights, but slightly more damage. And it feels like it has very little recoil and can actually be, is pretty good at mid-range. And then when hip fired, it has a faster fire rate and like a little less damage, but it makes it really good as a pump swapping weapon. But with how good the Deadeye AR is this season, I don't think like it's worth using. Like, it's not worth taking over a Deadeye AR. So, like, if you find it in early game, you have it as your off spawn as your only gun, like, it's pretty good. It's not like a bad gun to have as your only weapon, but it's just not the greatest, but like, it's not bad. It's solid. Like, it would be good if it was in another season. I just don't think it works that well in this season. So, and then we also, for map changes, we got Wonky Land changed into Cartman Land. It is very similar, like the layout is very similar of the POIs, just we got like colors changed, we got the sign to say Cartman Land instead. But the overall layout of the POI is essentially the same. There's still the slurp water and the mini game that you can play. So not very much map changes. We also did get all of the snow removed from the map. And near Clausy Lodge, the lake has unmelted and it is now a regular lake and not an ice skating rink. And then everything from Winterfest is gone. So there's no holiday presents. And the trees with the presents and chests around them are also gone. So we got the Winterfest is over. But for some reason, the snowball launcher is still in the game. Also, the Lorians and the OG chests were removed from the game. And now, let's analyze like each of these changes. So I think the big thing that happened, and the main thing that everyone's going to be talking about, is the vaulting of shockwaves and the Valblade. So what happened originally was the Valblade was vaulted and crash pads were added, so there were shockwaves and crash pads. And then like a few hours later, Fortnite went and vaulted shockwaves, but they didn't buff the spawn rate of crash pads, so crash pads are actually really hard to find. So in my games, I've been finding like hardly any crash pads. Like, I'll land in a POI and I'll loot my entire landing POI and I'll maybe get 2 crash pads. I've never seen more than 4 crash pads in an entire game. And if I try to run crash pads as my only movement item, like, I feel like I just never have enough. There's so few on the map that it just is insufficient. So I really hope that, like, within a few days, Fortnite will change this and, like, buff the spawn rate of crash pads by, like, at least, like, 2 times as many crash pads. Like, it needs a buff that big. And then, so how am I going to want to run my loadout after this? So I think if I can get crash pads, if I get enough crash pads, I'm going to try to run them. But I haven't been able to see very much. And so I could either run crash pads and like wingsuit, I think is working. Or like, so currently I've been wanting to run wingsuit or bunkers if I have 2 utility items. I've also been wanting to run the sniper recently. So sniper and then wingsuit, or just snipers and bunkers can work. But because like crash pads are so rare right now. And then of course, if you're playing ranked, I think the best thing to do is shotgun, AR, then bunkers and wingsuit, because there's no sniper in ranked. But that's what I think that, like, happens for these changes. Overall, though, I think these are really bad changes. Like, they kind of ruined Battle Royale for me. Like, they make the game just so much worse. Because if I don't have crash pads, like, I can't get away from a fight properly. I can't really push an opponent properly. It's just really bad right now. Like, I think this is one of the updates that has ruined the game the most. But the Flex SMG is pretty good, though. And, like, if you want to run shotgun, flex SMG, and sniper, I think it can work. But like at long range, you're gonna lack though, because without a Deadeye AR, trying to face a Deadeye AR at range, you can't really shoot your SMG and the sniper's projectile. So it's kind of easy to counter a sniper like that. So I still think my preferred loadout is gonna be a Deadeye AR and a shotgun, and then like bunkers and wingsuit. And if I can get my hands on crash pads, I'll use crash pads. But I feel like in all of my games, I just haven't been able to get my hands on very many crash pads at all, and I've just leading me to like losing these games. So, and then yeah, this is not good for Fortnite. I think this is one of the worst updates we've had in quite a long time. And drop in the comments what you think of this. And I might just be playing Reload after this update. Like, not gonna lie, I might be playing Reload. Oh wait, there's one more thing. I forgot to include talking about the Stick of Truth. So the Stick of Truth is a mythic item that has a low chance of spawning in a game. I'm not sure what the chance is, but it's not 100%. It spawns in some games, and if you pick it up, then you will have it in your inventory, and when you activate it, it will pull the storm right towards your location. That sets your location as the final location of the storm. Like, you set it down, like, somewhere, and that's the final location of the storm. Then the storm will close in directly on that, and the game will be over in, like, 3 minutes. It makes really chaotic, like, endgames because it pushes everyone together really fast. But you could actually do some troll things, like, go out, like, far out in the ocean, outside, from, like, away from the island, and put the Stick of Truth down there in the ocean. And then you could have, like, an ocean endgame. Like, you basically get to set where you want the endgame if you have the Stick of Truth. But again, this is like a weird item. I feel like it just shouldn't be in the game, because when you get it, like, it shuts the storm a lot faster than it regularly would be. And I feel like I just rather play the game with a normal storm than a Stick of Truth storm. But I'm okay with the Stick of Truth update. Like, it's cool. Fortnite's trying new things. I'm okay with that. But vaulting shockwaves and the Vow Blade, like, I think that's like a terrible change, as I've said many times. So let me know if you're still gonna play this season after they've done this, or if you think this was a good change. But as always, remember to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.